Hey Oregon fans, Kurt here, co-owner of fishduck.com, and welcome to the Fishduck One-on-One. This is a weekly conversation that we have every Thursday on the site with various Oregon athletes, coaches, or outside experts. This week I'm happy to be joined by Jared Light from addictedtoquack.com. Now, if you don't know Addicted to Quack, it is the SB Nation hub, the Oregon-specific site for the national network of SB Nation. Jared is a huge Oregon fan, a great writer, and someone who I lean on often for just conversations and advice back and forth with everything that's going on with our beloved Ducks. So, Jared, welcome to the Fish Duck One-on-One.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here talking with you about Oregon athletics.
Well, first of all, let's get into addictedtoquack.com. Because there may be some who haven't checked it out, and if they haven't, I pity them. I love your site. I think it's fantastic, both in the quality of the content and the hilarity that ensues on a daily basis on the comment threads for your daily Quack Fix and your other content. So for those who don't know, tell everyone what Addicted to Quack is all about.
It's just, I'd say first and foremost, it's about community and just the community of Oregon Duck fans coming together, finding... Some people just, I never got into message boards. It's just not the medium that I was able to communicate well in. So the commenting system on a blog that we have at Addicted to Quack has really fostered a great community of fans that are from all over the United States, and we have some throughout the world as well. And they just come and discuss the daily goings on of Oregon athletics, the various news, and it's I think that's what it's all about, is community, and we see that on our site.
And one thing that I love about your site, I check in daily, is just to read through the daily comments that come out. You have a daily Quack Fix, which is a compilation of all the new news that comes out each day that you can find on various sites. And the hilarity, sarcasm, snark, belligerence. I mean, what other words could you throw in to describe? You almost have to just experience it to understand it, but it's always good for a laugh every single day.
Yeah, they say if you're talking about Oregon athletics in the Quack Fix, you've actually gone off topic, because the main things that get discussed are just food or beer or anything in between. People's favorite movies, favorite music. It just anything gets talked about, and that's especially great in the off season when we are desperately looking for something to talk about.
Yes. Well, and off seasons the last couple of years have been interesting. There was a time where any news that came out about Oregon was great, because it meant that people were talking about the Ducks. And in fact, that's kind of been the whole model for Oregon through their whole marketing process for decades now. The uniforms and the billboards, hate them, love them, it got people talking about Oregon. These days it's kind of different. The last couple off seasons, I don't know about you, but I would love it if you and I had nothing to report on, because it's been difficult.
It would probably make our lives quite a bit easier, not having to deal with these athletes that are going around and doing things that are not in the best interest for themselves or the university. And I mean, part of it too is this happens at every school, and it's in some ways it's kind of nice to know that you are in the spotlight and everything you do is magnified. It means, I guess, you kind of made it to the apex of college football, especially when last week we had the big news about Chip Kelly possibly going to Tampa Bay. I mean, that's just a further validation of where you are as a program. So, I mean, right. It's both a blessing and a curse, and it would be nice if we had those. It would be nice if we had a nice, easy off season with no one getting in trouble. But since we're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old kids, probably not going to be happening anytime soon.
What's your take on people's reactions and overreactions to any sort of rumors that float?
I think it's not necessarily easy to talk about, because everyone will react differently. I mean, with running Addicted to Quack for the last few years, in a lot of ways I think I've become kind of numb to all of the various Twitter rumors that come out, and I'll just kind of take a wait and see approach. I mean, even with the Chip Kelly stuff, I didn't hear about the fact that he was coming back until the next morning I woke up and opened up the blog. Oh, look, hey, yeah, I guess he's back. So I always just kind of let it ride, see what happens, and then base my opinions when I try to have all of the information instead of parts of it. But I mean, I think that's probably the best advice you can give, but that's not when it's something as emotional and as important as who your head coach is going to be or whether your star cornerback is going to be playing or not, then that it definitely gets magnified. And that sometimes can be exciting and fun and lead to lots of page views. Sometimes it can lead to people overreacting. And I really feel bad for some of these kids, especially someone like Shaq, who is apparently, going through the biggest decision of their lives, and they have all of these random people that just want to go to my school, without even caring one bit about the well-being of the player, and that they get the best fit for them.
Right.
Which is actually something I really appreciate about Chip Kelly in how he recruits. They're not always going out there and giving offers to every single 5-star. They're going out there and finding the kids that are going to be a good fit for Oregon, both for them and for us.
It's just not cool to reach out and contact recruits, at least from my perspective. Let the coaches do their job. What's your take on people trying to interact with people that are, players that are actively being recruited by coaches?
I mean, I think it's a universally dumb idea to do that. I mean, literally no good can come from it. You're not going to make an impact on the recruit by telling him how much he should go to Oregon. I think the best thing as a fan you can do is continue to support your school and show that, Oregon has the best fans in the Pac-12, and we show that by actually packing our stadium week in and week out, and no matter who's playing, you're going to have that fan-supported Oregon. That's the best thing as a fan you can do. I think on top of that, what I think is the saddest thing about what happens in recruiting is just now with all of this extra scrutiny and interaction, just how difficult it is for these recruits to make their decisions. I think we just saw what happened with Shaq Thompson and Eric Armstead, and when they first announced that they'd be announcing their decisions last weekend, and then on National Signing Day. It happens on any blog. I was on Cal Golden Blogs, the Cal website, and one of their commenters we're calling them prima donnas. And I just don't think that type of reaction is fair at all. These are 17, 18-year-old kids that are making the biggest decisions of their lives.
Right.
And as college football fans, I think that we should all be rooting for them to find the school that is best for them so that they have not just a successful college experience, but a successful life.
Dana Altman has pulled off a miracle 2 years in a row now. He's had to work with patchwork lineups, dealing with so much attrition in the wake of the Ernie Kent departure, players leaving, and somehow through piecemeal work of bringing in JCs and transfers, somehow he's made it work. He led the team to a CBI championship last season, and very quietly, Oregon has been tied for first place in the Pac-12 conference. It is so impressive to see a coach be able to do that.
What I think is really exciting about this team is they don't collapse. They don't just fall apart like we might have seen in previous years, because they've struggled offensively through large stretches, and that's because they don't have that primary scorer.
Right.
And I think losing Jabari Brown hurt that aspect of the game, because he actually had the talent to do that. Now that's not necessarily there. We need to get Olu to score. Devo Joseph will have to come through. EJ Singler. We have a number of guys that can step up, but no one that is just going to be able to create their shot every single time.
Right.
But even though they don't have that, they can still be in every single game because they play defense, and they generally do a pretty good job rebounding. They have in recent games, and they're not often killing themselves, and that's when it gets tough, they can call timeout, they can come out, and they can get defensive stops, and that's not something that we've honestly seen all that often.
Well, Jared Light, thank you very much for joining us for the Fish Duck One-on-One. We appreciate it. Everyone be sure to go to addictedtoquack.com daily to get your quack fix, as well as be sure to check out the comment threads. It's always hilarious. Any final comments?
Nope, just go Ducks.
Right on, man. Jared Light, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Go Ducks.